We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope. Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Finally Home is a must-read step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time home buyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. Tailor-made Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag. It is real estate agent and radio personality Taylor Andre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
What is this, Doctor?
This is
The Spark of New England. Spark FM.
Bringing the heat back to the airwaves.
Turn us up.
All right, let's take a look.
Good rising, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Hey, lovely, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? And so for those who do not know, I am Taylor Andre. Waking Up with Taylor Andre has absolutely nothing to do with the time of day we link up, but about waking up your third eye with unorthodox conversations leading to universal consciousness. And so I am absolutely in love with everything that I do. As a radio personality, I feel like I have been able to educate hundreds of thousands, honestly, over the years. And I'm really excited that, so I taught a class today, and I taught a class of young people, and I did it on financial literacy based on my book. And I think I want to be a professor. I think I want to be Dr. Taylor. I really enjoy it. I love teaching. And so one of the things that I realized while teaching the class today was a lot of people, young people, don't have mentors, and they don't have the guidance that they need to be better individuals and be better people, whether that's like financially, motivationally, like the guidance that they have or lack is like they need more help. And so I would like to spend today with everyone dropping in the chat. Tell me what you wish you could tell yourself. If only I knew. If only you knew. But like, if only you knew. What would you have done differently? What could you have done differently? Who could you be today if only you knew? And so anything that you wish that you could tell yourself, that is what I would like for us to share with each other today. Drop it in the chat. What do you wish you could have told yourself, or a tip or a trick that you wish you would have known? And like, let's support young people in the sense of being mentors to them, even if it's virtually, even if it's temporarily, even if it's for this hour and a half that we are together. What would you desire to have somebody have told you? And for me, I'm just gonna I wish I would have had the financial wherewithal. I wish it didn't take me so long to understand finances. I wish it didn't take me so long to understand the entire world is a chessboard, and I wish I knew how to play the game. I wish my parents had the understanding of the game to teach me how to better prepare for the future. I wish I understood more about credit. Mind you, I had a bank account at the age of 12. I took myself to Citizens Bank. I think it was Citizens Bank when I was 12 years old, and opened a bank account because I became a paper route girl. I used to be the the girl for the paper route. And so I wish I had parents that were like, listen, just because you open an account so you can get paid through your account doesn't mean you have to spend everything. So I have 2 sets of parents. I have my mother and my father, and then I have my mother and her husband, who is my dad, and then I have my daddy, who's my biological, and his wife, Mama Val. And so, Mama. And so my dad, my mother's husband, is a splurger. Like, he's like, I'm not going to live forever. We spending it all today. And so whenever he got a paycheck, that thing was gone. It was spent. And my mother was calculated to the T. Whenever she spent any money, she'd be like, my cigarettes cost $8.22. And she'll write in the book $8.20. Like, she still keep a checkbook. You know how you balance a checkbook? My mother is still the only person in America that balances a checkbook. Do you know anyone who still balances a checkbook? Please drop it in the chat. You know somebody who my mother, I swear it's my mom. She's the only one who balances a checkbook to this day. And so, like, what are some of the things that you wish that... Some of the things you wish you knew when you were little? What are some of the things you wish you knew 10 years ago? What are some of the things you wish you knew last year? During the pandemic, there was so much going on in the pandemic that changed the way we do business, that changed the way we live our lives, that changed the way we engage with one another. The pandemic changed a lot of everything. Everything. What do you wish you knew? Don't compare yourself to others, because little do you know they're doing worse than you. Did I say that, Wonder? Did I say something about like comparison? Well, yes, because I did. So I went to school at a predominantly white institution, which, you know, predominantly white high school. And a lot of the kids already had, they had knowledge beyond their, I felt like an idiot. 90% of the time I was in class, I felt stupid as hell, and I didn't respond to things because I felt like these kids knew more than me, leaps and bounds. And I grew up and found out, Wonder, that it wasn't that they were better than me. It wasn't that they were smarter than me. It was absolutely because their parents had the financial wherewithal to get them a tutor, and these kids had tutors every single day for an hour and a half. But Wanda said, don't compare yourself to others. That's what she would have done, or that's what she wished somebody would have told her. Don't compare yourself to others, because little do you know they could be doing worse than you. And it's not just doing worse than you. Don't compare yourself to others, because, you know, when you take a look at Donald Trump, you're like, oh, Donald Trump is so successful. You know, his daddy gave him a loan. Here go $1 million. Figure it out. The rest of us is just, our parents kicked us out at 18 and was like, figure it out. But, you know, to have $1 million and $1 million when he was given $1 million and then told to figure it out. Oh yeah, I could figure out some too. You give me $1 million. Don't compare yourself to others, because you don't know what their leg up is. You don't know who their mentor was. You don't know what was the extra oomph that somebody may have given them. So you might be starting from absolutely nothing. You may not be able to have any form of foundation, and you comparing yourself to somebody who had everything handed to them. You cannot compare yourself to others. But what else do you wish you would have known? Anything. What do you wish you would have known at 15? What do you wish you would have known at 18? What do you wish you would have known at 25? What do you wish somebody would have taught you at 30? A lot of my clients are over the age of 40 years old. And with them being over the age of 40, they have different ideologies. They have different understandings. So you know what I'm going to do really quickly? I want to share this link. So you guys are actually going to be the first ones to see this. And I'm really excited to share. I'm actually really excited right now to share this with you. And so what do I wish that somebody would have told me? I am going to just share with you what I wish somebody would have shared with me, and to get a better understanding of life as just life, to get a better understanding of how the world works, to get a better understanding of this game called chess and the way that we need to move. And so I'm going to copy paste and share. Someone hit me up and said, I wish I would have known how to navigate the court system. Because I didn't know any better, I pled a no contest to a case that I should have been cleared of. I was misdirected and misguided by the court system. The public pretender, yes, the public pretender advised me to plead no contest, and it ended up staying on my record for the rest of my life. I'm now battling to have it removed, and it is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. I was young, I was dumb, and there's nothing that I can do to change it, but I don't understand why public defenders would advise you against your better interest. Because they get paid. Because they get paid. That's why. Because it doesn't matter about you. Do not matter. They have your interest, your better interest, or whether you win the case or whether you lose the case does not make or break them. And so if they're telling you to do something and you're like, oh, I trust you, because why would the court system give me somebody who's going to do me wrong, right? That's a good point. But I would never trust the government, baby. I would never trust the government. Well, why would you? Show me ever when the government did the right thing. I'll wait, because it never happened. And so what I'm doing is I'm preparing us to go ahead and watch what I wish I would have known as a youth. This is something that I put together. I created it. It's actually part of my course. You guys are getting the first view of it. No one has ever seen it before. And so I'm really excited for this. And hold on, let me share it. And please drop in the chat your thoughts. Please tell me what it is. Like, tell me what you think. Tell me what you would change. Tell me what you are excited about, what intrigued you. Please tell me more. Tell me more. Okay. And how I play this. One of the most important parts of this course for me is the history. Why? Because in order to understand where we are and where we're going, we have to understand where we came from. History seldom speaks of the victim's struggles, resilience, or triumphs, but boasts about their accomplishments even when the victory was the sum of another's efforts. That was written by me. I believe that you need to understand where we came from and where we are. And I promise you it's going to be a doozy. You ready for this? So in 1789, private property rights, the United States government rules that blacks are slaves. We are property, not citizens. We have no rights. In 1855, almost 100 years later, Massachusetts passed its Married Women's Property Act on May 5th, allowing white married women the ability to buy, sell, and manage real property. Not real estate, real property. In 1857, Dred Scott, who was a fugitive slave, was suing for his freedom. But the United States government said that you can't sue. Your property. You don't have any rights. In 1865, Congress chartered the Freedmen's Savings Trust and Company. It was a banking institution for those released from slavery. No banking service were afforded to blacks, even though they were land and business owners. Doesn't that seem like an oxymoron? In 1866, the 14th Amendment declares all persons in the United States are citizens who have the same rights to real property as white citizens. In 1876, the government can take your land at any point in time. This is known as eminent domain. For instance, if you've ever heard of somebody saying, they try to give me X amount of dollars and steal my land so they could build a Walmart. That public good is where your property rights do not matter. In 1872, the Homestead Act was amended to include blacks. The Homestead Act is where, let's say for instance, I just purchased a home. This is my first home. It is my only home. I wish to protect myself and my home. The Homestead Act says that you cannot use my property as leverage, up to $500,000. So if you get into a car accident, the car accident is $250,000. They're like, well, I just Googled Taylor. She got a house. We about to get her house. Because I have a Homestead Act, up to $500,000, I am protected and you cannot touch my home. After that $500,000, though, you might need some additional coverage. But we're not here for that. In 1877, the Reconstruction end and Jim Crow begins. I would like to pause here for a moment because Martin Luther King Jr. said that you can change the laws, but you cannot change a man's soul. I'm paraphrasing. But all of these laws that I am reading doesn't mean that just because it changed on paper, that all of a sudden men started acting rudely. You can't change a man's soul. So though these laws on paper may have altered, beliefs and practices have not. In 1916, Buchanan versus Worley, the court found it unconstitutional for Louisville, Kentucky ordinance that prohibited blacks from purchasing property in white majority-owned neighborhoods. In 1917, the Supreme Court ruled that zoning based on race was unconstitutional. So owners began adding covenants to their deeds. For example, no part of said lot shall be occupied by any persons of Negroid race. Not one drop. Only in the capacity of servant. I would like to take a moment to just stay here and pause on what that actually means. The law changed. You cannot conduct yourself in this manner. And so there was a loophole. I'll just write it in the deed, since at that time it was not protected. 1924, the National Association of Realtors, the NAR. Technically, as a real estate agent, I cannot go out and call myself a realtor with the registered trademark next to it because it is registered and it's a trademark. But